What's up everybody, it's Matt from TDM Style here. Welcome back to the channel for another hair product review, and this week we're having a look at two of the products from Trade Union. We've got the Clay Texture Mist and Dust. So before we get into this one, I just want to mention I do also have their texturizing clay and their plant-based paste that I've been testing out as well. I wanted to be very thorough with these, so I thought rather than try to cram all four products into one video, I'd split them up into two videos. We got this one first, and then in the near future, we'll do one with the clay and paste. And also, don't mind this weird spot on my cheek. I just have like a weird allergy thing happening right there. It's like itchy and hot and just weird. All right, so jumping right into things, Trade Union Supply Co. They are a homebrew style brand, and we'll go right into packaging and pricing. So starting out with the Clay Texture Mist, this comes in this 3 ounce or 88 milliliter amber glass bottle with the spray top, and this comes in at $16 US. And the Clay Texture Dust comes in this 2 ounce or 40 gram amber glass jar. And of course, each one has their stick-on labels that they're kind of this matte gray color with just dark color scheme, and I think the packaging looks fucking great. I mean, I like the labels feel high quality. I like the color scheme. I like the, kind of minimalist fonts and things. Some of the text is a little bit small, and I'm getting old, so I have to like read, the about and the instructions a little bit close to my face. So the Clay Texture Mist, this is really what I would call a pre-styler. It's meant to be applied to damp hair and then blow dried for best results. And in the little blurb on the side of the label here, it says, meant to add loads of texture and volume, used as a standalone styling product for natural or loose styles with a matte finish, or add your favorite Trade Union Supply Company pomade to finish your style. Now, the Clay Texture Dust similarly is meant to add volume and texture, but obviously you wouldn't put this in before blow drying. This is meant to go into dry hair. And so this little blurb, this one's really small. Sift liberally on hair to add loads of texture and volume. The natural clays will absorb moisture and revive hair, making it the perfect go-to dry shampoo. This texture dust is also a great styling aid for natural and loose styles with a matte finish. So, slightly spoiler alert, I've got both of these in my hair right now, so you can get a little bit of a sneak peek at what they do. But first, we have to talk about everybody's favorite category of scent. Now, the Clay Texture Mist is listed as a cedar, hemlock, and eucalyptus scent, and both of these are scented with an essential oil blend. And this one, it's actually kind of hard to... yeah, this one, I get a lot of eucalyptus. I mean, really, to me, this one just mostly smells like menthol, which is, to be honest, not my favorite thing, but it's very natural smelling and it's very light. So you'll smell it as you're spritzing it onto your hair, but once it's in there, after about 10 seconds, you will not smell it anymore. Now, the scent on the powder is listed as a cedar, lavender, and citrus scent, and this one, I have to be careful so that I don't accidentally snort this, because that would be really unfortunate. Yeah, no, this one, I really do like the scent on this. Again, it's very natural. It reminds me a bit of the scents that are on like the first-hand supply stuff, so you really get that kind of just natural, there's like a woodsiness to it, and it's very herbaceous, herbaceous. Words are fucking hard today, man. Yeah, so again, very natural, very light, so once you've got it into the hair, you really don't smell it anymore at all. But I definitely prefer the scent on this one over the mist. All right, now for the ingredients on these, we'll start out with the mist, and I mean, they're homebrews, so they are pretty short lists, so we can take a quick run through here. Take a quick run through here. So starting out, we have aloe vera leaf juice, followed by witch hazel, which is really interesting. That's something that some people use it after shaving, because it kind of anesthetizes the skin a little bit, but basically it's an astringent, so it helps to kind of absorb some oils in the hair. Then we've got bentonite clay, kaolin clay, tapioca starch, vegetable glycerin, polysorbate 20, essential oil blend, which is where that fragrance comes from, and then phenolxyethanol and caprylyl glycol, and sorbic acid. Those are your preservatives, usual stuff. Now, since this does have the clays in it, it actually says right on the jar that separation is natural, and you do want to shake it quite well before you use it, just to get everything nice and mixed up in there, so that you get a nice even coating. Now, ingredients on the dust. This is an even shorter list. We've got bentonite clay, kaolin clay, arrowroot powder, tapioca starch. Jesus, I can't talk at all. Starch, and the essential oil blend again for the fragrance. All right, now it's demo time, and we're gonna start out with the clay texture mist. So we're going in here with clean, damp hair, and then going in with that mister. And I found with this, I usually go for about 8 to 10 pumps. Also, one thing I forgot to mention about the packaging on this that I like, the mister slash atomizer, whatever you wanna call this thingy that the mist actually comes out of. It's really nice. It produces like a really fine mist, so it's easy to get it, very evenly distributed around your hair. Anyway, yeah, so once I've applied 8 to 10 pumps of this stuff, I like to just run it through with my hands quickly, and then a comb just to make sure everything is really well distributed, and then we're gonna blow dry that bitch and look at these results. Bitch! The first thing I will say here is that I was so pleasantly surprised at the results of this thing. I mean, because for me as a person with a, coarse, wavy, drier hair type, usually things like sea salt sprays and texture sprays and that sort of thing are not my best friend because they are typically quite dry. So yeah, normally when I use something like that, I typically end up with hair that is drier than I would like, and that is not at all the case with this stuff. And I've tested this, I really loaded up, I've done 15 plus pumps just to see if there was kind of a threshold before it got too dry, and I am happy to say that there is not. I don't know if it's the essential oil blend that they put in for the scent, or maybe it's to do with that vegetable glycerin that's in there, I don't know, but this actually doesn't make my hair feel dry at all. Quite the opposite, in fact. It makes it feel really smooth. It comes out with a great natural shine, so it doesn't add any shine, but it's not taking it away and making my hair look, really dry matte or anything. And yeah, volume is nice, the texture is nice, and it's certainly not overwhelming. So you could use this as a standalone product if you wanted a very kind of loose, natural, flowy looking hairstyle like I've got going on here. I personally would not recommend that you use this into dry hair for styling because, again, once I blow out my hair and kind of straighten it, if it gets wet again, those molecular bonds are getting reset, and then I'm gonna go back to curly afro semi-Frodo man. If you've got straight hair, then maybe it would work fine into dry hair, but for me, definitely it is ideal to use this as a pre-styler before blow drying. All right, next up is the clay texture dust. That almost got away from me there. And so I've got 2 demos for this one. The first of which we're gonna start out here with 2-day-old hair that's full of product and it's pretty oily. So I'm testing out kind of the dry shampoo capabilities of this. So basically I'll just kind of semi-section out my hair so that I can sprinkle this onto more of the roots and just kind of get it all over. And you can be very liberal with this because once again, I found that this is not over drying, which is really nice. So if you use a little bit too much, not to worry. Yeah, so once you've got it sprinkled around, then basically I do this kind of rake and shake thing that I call it, where I just kind of run my fingers through and shake them around just to get everything kind of moving around there and get a nice even coating on the hair and really get it to start absorbing some of those excess oils. And here we are with the finished result of that, and yeah, so it works quite well as a dry shampoo. As I mentioned, once again, it's not over drying, so my hair does still have a nice natural shine to it. It doesn't look, dead or straw-like, and it feels nice. It's very, very lightweight. Now, I mean, it's a powder, of course it's gonna be lightweight, but yeah, it does add some texture back in, it adds a little bit of volume back, so it does just kind of breathe some new life into, dirty hair. Now, our second demo, I'm using this as my kind of finishing product after I've gone in with the mist. So I'm just applying a few sprinkles of the powder around into that hair that we saw a few minutes ago with the mist demo. And so once again, yeah, you can see here a nice lightweight, loose, natural, flowy hairstyle. It's got a nice clay texture to it, but it's not overly dry. It looks nice and natural, still maintaining that natural shine, and it's very lightweight, so it has a decent amount of volume. Nothing crazy, but a decent amount of volume to where it just, yeah, I've said the word like 10 times in the last sentence, but it looks very natural. And as far as endurance, we can take a look here. This is 8 hours later at the end of the day, and there's really basically no change at all. Maybe a slight deflation in that volume, which I mean, it's kind of natural. Like there's not much in the way of hold here, but it's not really meant for that. It's just, yeah, it's meant for some texture and a little bit of volume. So I think all in all, for being two super lightweight products, I think they held up pretty damn well for an 8-hour endurance test. All right, guys, so overall thoughts on the Clay Texture Mist and Dust from Trade Union. I love these. I think they're great. I was so pleasantly surprised at the Mist, and I'm still, like, I've been using this very frequently. This is honestly one of the first kind of texture spray products that I really like and doesn't make my hair feel dry as fuck. It doesn't get tangly. It maintains just that natural softness that I want in a pre-styler, but while also adding in the benefits of, you know, some clay texture and volume in there. So I think this is a fucking home run. Now the Dust, I really quite like this as well. I do like it as a dry shampoo. It's not the most absorbent for me. I've definitely used a few dry shampoos that are a little bit better at absorbing the excess oils. But I do like this one in that it doesn't overdo it, and I do also like this as a, you know, a natural styler for those days when I want a style like this that has some just kind of movement to it. You know, I don't want anything crazy that's going to be glued into place. I just want something that's going to be, you know, soft and flowy and, you know, look nice and luxurious. I don't know, that was a weird head shake moment. But yeah, and I think the pricing is good for what you get here, and I forgot to mention earlier in the video, they do offer free shipping inside of the US, so, you know, 16 bucks and 14 bucks out the door. Really love the packaging and branding on these. I'm not nuts about the scents. I mean, they didn't fuck me up exactly, but they're certainly not bad, and they're very natural, very light, and yeah, so all in all, super stoked on these products. I really enjoy both of them, and I'm really looking forward to doing the next video where we can talk about their texturizing clay and their plant-based paste. So that wraps things up for today's video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this and found it helpful. As always, tons more content coming your way, so if you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button down below to keep up to date with everything. And as always, thank you guys so much for coming by and watching, and we'll see you at the next one.